Well, surprising nobody, Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny is not doing massively well. Now, I know a lot of people will jump at that and go, what would you mean? Well, it released Wednesday in other parts of the world, but domestically it released Thursday night previews. And we've got some numbers coming in from those previews, which you can build projections off of. And there has been projections built off of them. And it's not looking like a good opening weekend. It's something which, the box office has been struggling of late. And it's not because the box office is struggling for financial reasons, people can't pay for it. That's definitely one of it. But it's people are more discerning about what they go to watch. And Indiana Jones and the Dial of Destiny, this is a movie made for no one. It doesn't have an audience. If you've seen it, you'll know what I mean. Like, it doesn't really feel like it's made for anyone in particular outside of Kathleen Kennedy. So like I said, there's been projections built off the back of its Thursday night previews, which has only hit, and it is only, $6 million. That's not good at all. In fact, it's looking, and of course we'll cover this on Sunday and Monday here on the channel, but it's looking like it'll have a $60 to $65 million opening. Now that's abysmal. That's off the back of 4,500 theatres. That's awful. That's really, really bad. Now, hilariously, and this goes to show how the brand has been damaged by the previous film, 2008's Indiana Jones and the Kingdom of the Crystal Skull had a 5-day opening of $151.9 million. That was in 2008. Now adjust that for inflation and also variable ticket pricing, which we have now, $60 to $65 million, is very bad. Very, very bad. It's not good at all. Now, they do make some interesting comparisons here, but we can sort of toss some of these to one side, I guess, to a certain degree, right? No Time to Die, for instance, had a Thursday night start of $6.3 million, and then would go on to gross $55.2 million opening weekend. Now, No Time to Die didn't do very well overall, so there's one comparison to compare it to. And then you have 2018's Mission Impossible Fallout, which made $6 million before its $61.2 million weekend start, and then of course it went on to be, a pretty big box office success. Now the issue is with this film, you can compare this film more in line with No Time to Die than you can Mission Impossible. Mission Impossible, Tom Cruise and the like have a lot of good faith with the audience, whereas James Bond and No Time to Die, funnily enough and hilariously enough, another franchise which had Phoebe Waller-Bridge attached, doesn't have a lot of good faith with the audience and the fans at this point in time. And again, just to compare it, you're literally looking at well over $100 million less than the previous film. That's very, very bad. That is not a good opening. And I think what's even more comical about that, now they say this, is that Kingdom of the Crystal Skull didn't have previews, but opened fully on the Thursday before Memorial Day weekend. But it also had less theatres, 4,260 theatres. Now Lucasfilm cannot continue down this path. Everything they make is bombing. Everything they make is bombing. Now, those that have seen Indiana Jones, they seem to like it to a degree. It's very mixed. But not many people, there's not much footfall going out there to watch it. I say this, why aren't weekend projections up to the same level as the previous chapter? Deadlines, I say astute observation, not really. Twofold. Part of that has to do with Indy getting the worst reviews ever at 66% coming out of Cannes Film Festival. True. But also, its audience is greying and on par with the 007 franchise. You can't say that Mission Impossible is getting older just yet, as that movie is set to see a franchise best start with Dead Reckoning. Yes. People just aren't that interested in Indiana Jones. It was of its time, for its time, and it should have stayed in its time. Now, the other thing about social media reactions and what are people reporting on this anyway, Relish Mix. It's a social media sort of analysis company. Chatter on Indy 5 runs mixed, leaning positive of fans who think this will be a masterpiece filled with heart-pounding action, and that Ford as Indy will be missed as one of the best heroes ever, along with adoration for John Williams' historic contribution and career. Plus, there's excitement for James Mangold at the helm as fans talk about their lives over the 39 years of the franchise and wish there'd been more episodes. Hecklers are taking pot shots at everything from the story, throwback elements and cliche comments about sequels, but are nowhere as loud as lovers of the franchise. Hecklers? I like how you delineate between hecklers and lovers of the franchise, like they're two separate individuals. No, I would say, I mean, this is so disingenuous, it's outrageous. The social media reaction around Dial of Destiny isn't positive, and you'll see that opening weekend, and you'll also see it by the end of its run. This movie costs somewhere in the region of $300 million bare minimum to $350 million. This is literally an unmitigated disaster for Lucasfilm, because this film will unequivocally lose Lucasfilm and Disney hundreds of millions of dollars easily. And you can take that to the bank. Absolutely, it will lose them hundreds of millions of dollars. Now, the only positive part about this, and this being a huge monumental bomb, they don't have anything else to adapt now. They've done Star Wars, they've done Indiana, they've done Willow. They don't have anything else. Lucasfilm has nothing. Kathleen Kennedy has nothing to butcher. It's done, it's dead. You beat the horse to oblivion, and you got nowhere on it. Social media universe for Dial of Destiny counts 296.4 million across Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, TikTok and YouTube views, predominantly on Lucas channels and cross-promoted on several Disney movie channels, with brand tie-in spots that are also well integrated into the push. Yes, but no one's interested. They're just not. Now they talk about No Time to Die's Thursday previews, etc, etc. This is not good. And you know what? You know, looking at these numbers here, Dial of Destiny will have the exhibition treasures of 400 IMAX screens, auditoriums, 900 PLF screens, and 280 D-Box screens, and 85 ScreenX hubs in Theatre Swave. That's very good, and that should mean that it will do well. You know, these are higher earners, but it's still not going to do well at all. This movie will unequivocally bomb. It's not looking good already. The box office, $6 million in Thursday night previews. This is not good. Word of mouth as it starts to perpetuate across, it'll put people off, and those that aren't put off, there's few and far between anyway. There's not going to be much traffic to this film. So, another disaster for Disney, but this is a well-earned one. This should never have been made. It's a terrible send-off for Indiana. I've done my review. I'll leave it linked above. Garbage. Garbage. Let me know what you think down below. Hit subscribe. Take care.